Lesson 3, initiation phase. This is our first phase. The initiation phases of the project management cycle. It starts when the proposal is accepted by the donor. We have funds now, they have been approved, and finally the project is ready to begin. Here we are in this initial phase of our project management cycle. Completion of that phase will allow us to go into the next phase, which is planning. Here are some of the initiation steps that need to occur. The first one is the project charter. This is a document that describes a little bit of the project objectives, but most important, defines the authority of the project manager and appoints a project manager to begin the project. It also sets up the project governance, how decisions are going to be made on the project. That includes information about the steering committee or a project board that's going to be supporting the project. One of the first tasks as a project manager in this phase is to do an analysis of the proposal, the design documents. You need to look at it and make sure that you have a good understanding of what is the project, understanding of the approaches, the risks, the assumptions that are made, and also make sure that some of the designs and the project proposal is still relevant to the project. It could have been a very long time between once the project was designed until the project is approved and ready to implement. In that time could have been some changes, especially in the areas of stakeholder support. And speaking of support, that is another element that you need to take care of that stage. Make sure that especially your organizational units have the bandwidth, have the ability and the capacity to provide you the support you will need, especially the administration areas, procurement, human resources, logistics. They're going to be providing you with services as a project in the organization. So you need to make sure that you are meeting with those units and making sure that they have the bandwidth, the resources to provide you with that support. The other element is your project organization, organizing your team, organizing your structure in your project, and the reporting levels that you'll have in your project. Then you develop the project office. That is, you set up the office environment where your team is going to be working. And then you can have the kickoff meeting where you can invite some key stakeholders, and that begins the kind of the official start of the project. Here is the flow chart that explains all those steps from the project charter. There is that big decision to make sure that you have all the information on that document, especially the governance, that who's going to be approving, who's going to be making decisions about the project and different levels of decision. Once you complete that and you are clear, the project analysis it's understanding the project. Like we said before, it could have been a very long time between the project being approved by the donor and the moment you're implementing, and there could have been some changes. So if you see some changes, some additional risk to the project, you need to modify or need to ask for those changes, so that you're not starting a project that is going to have problems from the first day. You continue all those steps until you are ready for your project kickoff. Here are some recommendations in terms of the initiation phase. Make sure you understand the project. Read all the documents. If you have a chance, interview the people or have a meetings with the people that designed the project. You might have some questions about why they decided to choose a certain approach or a specific indicator in the log frame matrix. Talk to them, have an understanding what was their thought of mind when they decided to make those things, so you are clear about what is going to be the project. Make sure that you have the project governance in place. One thing is to have it on paper in the project charter, but make sure that people understand and they are ready to start taking those roles, that you have a steering committee in place and it's functioning. Organize the team. Make sure that you got the team with the right skills doing the right type of work. If you don't, then try to spend and invest the time to get the team, because you're going to go now into the planning sessions and you're going to need all of them working with you and start developing those plans. Also, take this opportunity to meet with the stakeholders. There are going to be a lot of key stakeholders, both internal and external, that will provide support to the project. So you need to meet with them. Probably they don't know you, or they're not that familiar with your background, so it's a great opportunity to meet them personally and to remind them about their support to the project, and then again to get their commitment to support it. And prepare all the documents that you need. You're going to go now into the planning phase. and make sure you have all the information and the background documents to make that happen.